Chris Lemonis on today. But Coach said, no, I will be on Sports Talk Mississippi because I know Brian Haydad is there and Richard Cross is not. Isn't that correct, Coach?
I guess that's it. We must have had some miscommunication because I have some things coming up on some other Mondays, but this one I was able to make. So,
well, we're glad you did. Coach.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Got to be going good for you this weekend. But I have to ask you, how's your heart rate after 2 walk-off wins?
Yeah, it's all right. My heart rate's worse after Sunday, I'll tell you. So, but it was fun, man. We had that ballpark was packed and some great games. I think all 3 games could have gone either way. So I give our guys a lot of credit to just keep fighting and competing, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
You talked with us earlier this year, I think it was after the Northern Kentucky series, about on that Friday game last year you had guys who just would have refused to lose that game. They would have found a way to win, and you needed to find those guys this year. With 2 walk-off wins on a series, do you feel like you're starting to find those guys in your lineup?
Well, I think so. I think, we're learning as a team, how to win and how to win tough and how to play tough. And we have a brand new group, even though we have some carryovers, some guys from last year. It's just a different feel. And we've had to, we don't start great offensively to start the year. And we've had to figure some things out, but I like where we're at. And I like what some of our guys are doing,
You don't normally see a baseball lineup, and maybe I'm just an older guy. I think about the power guys hitting, 4, 5, maybe 3. But you've got, your top power guys are hitting 5, 6, 7 in your lineup right now. And we know that Cam James and Luke Hancock and Logan Tanner are guys who have pop. They were double-digit home run guys a season ago. But do you like the way that lineup is staggered right now with that much power towards the bottom of the order?
Well, I just like having length to our order. My 3 main guys in the middle, they just haven't hit for power yet. They've always hit for power. And I think they'll hit for power when you look up at the end of the year. Numbers usually, they turn out to be what you think they were going to be. So I think that's coming with those guys. But I think, and then Hines has been a nice surprise being a freshman doing what he's doing. And then, Brad and Kellum hit there last year for us. So it's, they do a nice job and keep the lineup moving and give us some security for our other hitters too. So I still think our lineup can be better. Being our 8, 9, 1s kind of right around there, we could be a little better at times in the lineup there. And RJ's been really good. I probably shouldn't say that about 8, but
yeah.
Our 9s and 1s, we can get better as we try to match up to other teams.
You mentioned Hunter Hines, and what a revelation he's been as a true freshman to come in and be as consistent and give you the power. Had the walk-off home run. I'm sorry, had the big home run, not the walk-off, but the big one in the 9th inning to tie the ball game. In the recruiting process with him, did you see him as a guy that could be a day one starter and give you this much impact as a true freshman?
The recruiting process with Hunter and a lot of the kids and kids coming in still has been kind of crazy because of COVID, and so we signed, we had Hunter in before COVID, and he would have him in at a fall camp, and he played good, but he was 40 pounds heavier. He was playing defensive line for his high school. And then we liked him. We brought him back in. But he wasn't good the next time. He wasn't great at the next camp, and we didn't do anything with him. And then we go into COVID, and we're looking for some guys, and you're starting to see some video. And Hunter, man, he started changing his body, and he just hit everywhere he went. And then you hear about his dad is a legend hitter. Just like this is a baseball family, and we get him to sign during that time. I don't think we ever saw him live in a game to that point. So it's, but the first day he stepped on campus and he hit, I knew he was going to be a good hitter. I can tell you that. The first time he took BP, you could tell it's just different off his bat.
Anybody you've coached before remind you of him?
Man, I've coached some really good ones, but
yeah.
That's pretty special. I had a kid, Dallas McPherson, when I was at the Citadel, who ended up being a second rounder. It was just that physical body who could hit some balls like that. But I'm comparing Dallas McPherson as a junior to what Hunter's doing as a freshman in the SEC. So he's still got a lot to learn. I mean, he's got a lot to be we talked to him a lot about being a well-rounded player. And then the maturity piece of just, pitch counts and things like that. I mean, that swing is so pure. Nobody's touching that swing, but and he's such a tough kid. He thinks he can hit every pitch. So when he gets out, he doesn't handle it real well. But he's got a chance to be a special player. He's got to keep working really hard.
Obviously, this weekend, starting pitching I thought was really, really good, but the bullpen, it kind of just is what it is at this point. You're going to continue to fight and try to get there, but you just have to put the guys out that you have. Are there any guys coming in? Casey Hunt, is he going to be able to be available anytime soon? A guy like Andrew Walling, who came in with a lot of recruiting hype, but only thrown one inning so far. Are those guys possibly making a contribution soon?
Well, it'll be in time. I mean, we're working with it. We're just not wanting to rush guys back. So it's, we're hoping so. We got to get the ones that are pitching right now better, and they can be better. They can make better pitches. I like you said, I liked our starters on the weekend. I like those guys and how they were pitching, and we just got to get a little bit better in that bullpen and be a little more consistent. And because even yesterday's game, if we keep that game close, I mean, who knows what happens? I mean, it's hard to slow us down in the ninth inning if we have a chance, but we give up, those couple more runs to just open the game and give somebody a cushion, and we got to stay better. We got to be better than that. So, I know Fox is working really hard with our guys, and we got some guys we got to get better, and then we have to piece midweek games together right now. So, as we do that, it'll be interesting. Hopefully, guys can get a little bit more work. Some of the guys that haven't pitched as much of late.
Who are you planning on starting in the midweek this week?
We're starting Brandon Smith. So, but it's going to be a bullpen game. We're just getting out of the gate with Brandon. So, it'll be a lot. We don't have any more 2 games in the middle, so it'll be a bullpen week there. So, a bullpen game, excuse me.
It goes without saying, obviously, you've had a lot of success at Mississippi State with 2 College World Series, a national championship, but not against Arkansas. Haven't had any success against Arkansas. Swept both years. What is it about Arkansas that has sort of foiled your team the past couple of years, and what do you think of this Arkansas team you're facing this weekend?
This Arkansas team is very similar to the last couple of Arkansas teams. I mean, some of the same players. Both times we played them, we just haven't played well, and then they have played really well. And so you have to tip your hat to those guys, and we have to play better, pitch better, defend better, and swing it a little bit better. It's just both times we've kind of matched up. We didn't play well, and I don't know why that is or what that is, and but we're going to have to play better as we go out there and get out there this weekend and try to get a series. So, but it's new guys. We got a lot of new guys. They have some new guys, and they have a lot of older ones, that we played against last year. And I don't know if they lost the weekend last year. So
they didn't.
They were really good, and they're really good again this year. So we got our work cut out for us.
What do you think about the SEC West so far? I don't know how much you've really looked at it, but it really does feel like looking at these 7 teams that any team could beat the other team. Ole Miss was riding high, then they get swept. LSU had a rough first weekend, but they go to Florida and get 2 games. Arkansas dropped one to Missouri. It feels like this is as much parity as we've seen in the West in quite some time. Yeah,
I think so. I think you're right. I think there's there may not be as much pitching in our league, in our division right now. And I think that's one reason why you see Tennessee is having so much success is they're really pitching and hitting. I still think all our teams are good. We got good teams in our league. It's just parity right now. There's probably a little upper echelon right now with a couple teams, and then it's everybody else. And we're in the everybody else right now, fighting to find ourselves and just keep fighting for every victory. And like I've told our guys, I mean, it's a long haul, and keeping our guys invested and focused and just playing good baseball and trying to get better every day, because the teams, there's going to be some really good teams come out of our league this year that went through a grind, and they're going to do really well in the postseason, and that's the plan for our group.
One last question. You look at this lineup top to bottom. You mentioned it a second ago, lead off and the 9-hole. You tried Matt Corder on Sunday. He got on base a couple times. Jess Davis has had some things. That center field position has been sort of a bugaboo for you this year. How do you feel about all the guys you have sitting there right now?
I feel fine. I mean, I thought Jess has done well. We just mixed it because we knew we were getting 2 lefties yesterday, and was trying to get back. Matt Corder's numbers don't look great, but it's kind of been a little bit in and out. And then Jess has had some really good games for us too. Matt Corder's a good player. Jess Davis is a good player. We're trying to match up as much as we can to get us going and get some guys on in front of that middle of the lineup that we have. So defensively, they've been fine. And I have a couple of other guys with Braylon Skinner and Drew McGowan that we got some guys who can play defensively. We're just looking for an offensive spark. And Jess did that a little bit to get us going. He just, against lefties, we got to get a little bit more out of him.
Going to be a big week for Mississippi State. All games on the road in Memphis for midweek, and then 3 big ones up in Fayetteville against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach Chris Lemonis on the Farm Bureau phone line. Thanks.